Hey everyone, Clayton here. Buckle up because we are at a tipping point moment right now in world history. You are witnessing a massive global shift. Can you name what it is? We're in the middle of it right now. Do you know what it is? Drop me a comment below if you think you know. Anyway, I'll give you a little hint. It's the global shift away from oil and gas. The world right now is aggressively transitioning to net zero carbon emissions. Zero. I want to repeat that. The world is aggressively, they're not just sitting back on their hands. They are transitioning to net zero carbon emissions. And that means totally away from oil and gas. Bye-bye, gone. And if we're going to talk about the energy sector and how it's changing, we're going to need to put on our seatbelts because this is going to be big. And I'm going to show you where I'm putting my money in just a moment. The United States just pledged to cut greenhouse gas emissions by nearly half over the next 10 years. We're talking Exxon, BP, Shell, etc. are all aggressively shifting as we speak because they know the writing is more than on the wall. It's like the kid from The Shining writing all over the wall, like red rum. It's all over the place. Game over for oil and gas. That's a dinosaur on dinosaur fossils. The whole industry is experiencing the same thing that horses did at the beginning of the 19th century, when heroes like Henry Ford first started experimenting with the concept of a gasoline car. And the funny thing is that you had people literally sitting there on horses watching gasoline-powered cars drive by, saying that cars were just a fad and that nothing would replace horses. I own a car. I don't own a horse. So President Biden has set the new level in the United States, and that's just the United States. The United States is always behind other parts of the world. Isn't that funny? You think we're way out ahead. We're not. As Winston Churchill famously said, you can always count on Americans to do the right thing after they have exhausted all other options. That's the United States. Eventually, we will do the right thing. And the United States has tried its darndest to keep gas guzzling and oil guzzling, polluting the air businesses in business. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle now, though. Game over. So what about Europe? They're looking to eliminate all combustion engines in record time. No more gas-powered vehicles in Europe. Europe? Gone? No gas guzzlers? Countries like Denmark, Iceland, Costa Rica are already running on 100% or almost 100% renewable energy, which should be looked at as an absolute energy authority in the entire world. Another 197 countries adopted the Paris Climate Accord as well. That'll help in this process. Heck, even Will Ferrell starred in a Super Bowl ad making fun of how advanced Norway is in the electric vehicle market.
Did you know that Norway sells way more electric cars per capita than the US? Norway.
What's even better than that commercial is 4 of the world's largest economies announced net zero carbon emission targets, along with some of the world's biggest companies. General Motors, DuPont, JP Morgan, Dow, Union Pacific, Shell, Microsoft, JetBlue, and Walmart, just to name a few. However, other countries are not looking up to them enough, at least not yet. Big oil took too long to build for leaders just to give it up. Think about the infrastructure involved in big oil. The pipelines, the drilling platforms, all of it. So these countries are not willing to give up the horse, so to speak, and they will be left behind. People in charge in countries like Denmark, Costa Rica understand that renewable energy is the future, and every person, business, or institution should embrace this change and reinvent themselves to get rid of fossil fuels and get a taste of clean energy. The single most effective moneymaker in the history of the human race is oil and gas companies. They were always the most profitable companies in the world and used to have plenty of cash left over for fun in the journey up that ladder. But that is soon about to change, and that inevitability has already started. And that's why hydrogen energy is at the top of the list right now, because the most abundant and simple element on Earth, hydrogen. It's clean burning, zero emission fuel for storing and releasing energy. Hydrogen could become an $11 trillion market and make up about 18 to 24% of all global energy demand by the year 2050. In fact, take a look at this. JP Morgan just released a report on hydrogen, and here's what they say about it. Clean hydrogen is gaining strong political and business momentum, emerging as a major component in governments' net zero plans, such as the European Green Deal. This is why we believe that hydrogen value chain deserves serious focus. And after 3 false starts in the past 50 years, hydrogen is very versatile, both in its production and consumption. It is light, storable, has high energy content per unit mass, and can be readily produced at an industrial scale. This all could be a powerful catalyst for hydrogen power moving forward. That's JP Morgan. In fact, supported by the global shift of regulators and attitudes towards decarbonization, hydrogen already is ready to receive unprecedented interest in capital. This is also where Jericho Energy Ventures comes into play. With its dynamic combustion chamber, it's a DCC, their boiler solution. The company is JEV, which claims to provide zero emissions. So recently, the company started heavily focusing on carbon capture technologies, hydrogen power, and batteries. And for some, this might have come out as a surprise because the company before their name change was called Jericho Oil. Yes, they were an oil company. But the management very intelligently saw where the industry is headed, and they didn't want to remain simply another dirty energy company. That's actually what they said. They don't want to contribute to a dirty energy anymore. So they transitioned to clean energy in a huge way. Now, I'm very bullish on this company based on their technology. The company is Jericho Energy Ventures, JEV. Here's their US stock ticker, which is JROOF, which can be traded on any of the bigger exchanges like E-Trade or TD Ameritrade. And so what they patented is a game changer for clean energy. Listen to this. They patented a zero emissions dynamic combustion chamber. It's a boiler system which actually produces incredible clean energy with zero pollution. The only thing that it produces is water. And it could help decarbonize the approximately $30 billion global commercial and industrial heating industry. And if you look at the data, like I have, you'll see that the market for these boilers is set to grow between 5 and 7% per year over the next 7 years. Basically, these boilers will outpace all commercial markets for heat and even hot water. And hydrogen could have a total addressable market of about $2.5 trillion by the year 2050. Huge upside for these companies. Huge upside for this company. And these boilers are amazing. The only thing they output is water. No pollution, just water. There's no smokestack. Again, no pollution. Also, the company's battery division, which they're heavily invested in, is working hard on energy storage of the most efficient components right now, which would actually keep the energy generated by the renewable resources safely stored. So think about it, all of this clean energy being stored then with clean battery technology as well. Again, a game changer. The energy sector is changing as never before, and JEV is one of those companies that's contributing in a big way to this effect. They are light years ahead of other companies in this space with a palette of innovative technologies that they've been able to patent. They're well ahead of these other companies. Now, do your own due diligence on this. Dive into the company profile. I'll have links and everything below in the description, including their stock ticker. Look at the latest news on the company, analyze these market reports, and see what other analysts are having to say about hydrogen and the future of energy in the United States and beyond. We'll see you next time, everyone.